Welcome everybody and welcome to my Leagues 1 and 2 Matchday 12 preview. Also we're going to talk about Matchday 11 a bit as well. So it's nice to be bringing another Matchday preview coming back to the channel. We haven't done one of these in about a week or so now. I think the FIFA content's gone down really well. I've been wrapped up in that. I've been doing lots of that as well. But it's nice to be bringing you some previews and Matchday predictions now, which is coming back to the channel, and it will be now. Since the international break, I thought it would make sense just to bring back Leagues 1 and 2. Obviously we can't forget about them. Most important divisions, as well as the Championship, a former football league. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight in. So the first game on Saturday in League 1 is Doncaster. They're playing home to Southend. So I've not seen a lot of Doncaster recently. I've not seen a lot of Southend either. But to be fair, I think by looking at both sides, on paper I do fancy Southend to win this game. I think they'll be in the best bit of form out of both sides. I think they're going to have more quality than Doncaster, and I think that extra quality will just help them over the line. And I do think Southend will win this game 2-0. It'll be a close run affair, but I think Southend's quality, the likes of Michael Kitely in there on the wings. More Ranger up front as well. Controversy already this season for his celebrations at Fleetwood, where he pulled out his boot and went to shoot the crowd. But yeah, I do think Southend will win this game 2-0. Going to the second game, MK Dons versus Bradford. So this is another tight game. Both sides actually in a good bit of form. MK Dons got a good win up at Bury Saturday. They're looking like a good team this season. Obviously Bradford did beat Doncaster Saturday as well. I think it was 3-0, I think it was, I'm not too sure. Charlie White did get a goal as well, so he's in good form. Obviously Osman Sof, MK Dons, he's in good form as well. MK Dons playing some good football at the moment. Unbeaten a couple, I think 3 or 4 games now, so they're starting to string some consistency together. And this will be a tight game. This is probably two of the most informed sides in League 1 at the moment. And it's going to be a tight game, but I do fancy Bradford to nick it. I think they're a good side, and I think they're going to go to Stadium MK and play some good stuff. And I think with the likes of Charlie White up front, he's always going to get a chance, and I think if he does, he'll take it. Be a close game. I think it'll be 2-1 to Bradford. Let's go to the third game of this match day. Northampton host Bristol Rovers. Quite a tough. This is going to be an interesting fixture, really. Against Rotherham last weekend, Jimmy Full-Hasselbanks in the second half, of which they played up at New York Stadium, was the worst he's ever had, worst he's witnessed in charge of Northampton. They did lose that game as well. And to be honest, I think, as I said before, their squad's not a bad squad. If they can get some good results together and string some sort of consistency against a Bristol Rovers side who ain't doing too good. They did beat Plymouth though Saturday, so it's a step in the right direction for them against a side that they should have beaten. If they didn't beat Plymouth last week, then there could have been a few questions raised up about why they're beating these type of teams who are down the bottom of the league. This is going to be a tight game, but I think this has got a draw written all over it for me. I think it'll be 1-1. I think both sides do score goals, but both sides do let in goals as well. Both sides are not in the strongest bit of form. Bristol Rovers are, though. They did win their last game, however, but I do think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be 1-1. Let's go to the next game. Oxford host AFC Wimbledon. Oxford are looking good, back to winning ways. Doing the job against Peterborough on Saturday, they won there. So it's a big win for them there as well. Looking like a good side now, starting to really hit their stride and starting to kick on up the top of the table. Against the AFC Wimbledon side, who ain't doing too great. I think they drew with Rochdale Saturday, I'm not too sure. So they're struggling for form really, and they're into the bottom 4 now, into the relegation places in League 1, so that's a problem for them. And they're going to struggle, I think, this year. If they want to be out in relegation zones, they've got to try and kick on, get some league form and consistency together. And I do think they'll come up short here and lose 3-0 against Oxford. I think Oxford is hitting form at the right time, as I said. Good quality amongst their team. I think they'll go on and win this game 3-0. Going to the next game, Plymouth host Fleetwood. Plymouth had an appalling start to the season. Really thought they'd do well coming up from League 2 last year. Didn't start too badly, but this disciplinary record, another red card in the previous game as well. Up at Bristol Rovers, I mean, there's just so many problems there at the moment. Obviously, Nathan Blissett scored a nice goal on Saturday, something that his uncle Luther Blissett would have been proud of. So they've got something in him. They've got someone in Nathan Blissett who's a bit of a direct powerhouse, really. However, they're just lacking in creating chances. Obviously, the amount of red cards they've assumed already this season is poor from the disciplinary side, as I mentioned before. Against a Fleetwood side who had lost to Charlton on Saturday. Inconsistent move Eros have called them after their game against Charlton, and I can see why. They're very up and down. They had a good start to the season in around August, but coming into September they sort of hit a dip, up and down results, couple of wins, couple of defeats, and they're losing games at home they really should be winning. Against Southend, they lost 4-2. They probably looked at that and probably thought they could have won that game as well. But I do think they'll beat a low on confidence Plymouth side, and this will be a good chance for Fleetwood to get a win and get some confidence back. And whether they can build on that, I'm not too sure, but I do think they'll win this game 2-0. Let's go to the next game. Rochdale host Rotherham. Rotherham got a good win against Northampton at home on Saturday. Kiefer Moore scoring goals. He's a fantastic player for them at the moment. He's looking really good at the moment. Rochdale are not really hitting the heights that they did last season when they almost charged into a playoff place. Slow start again, as I said before. Couple of draws. I think they drew with Wimbledon. I'm not too sure on that one, as I mentioned about the Wimbledon game. However, I do think they'll come up short against the Rotherham side, who against the lower teams in the league, they do score a lot of goals, and they're in good form at the moment. Obviously, Paul Warne's been nominated for the Manager of the Month. I don't think he'll get that particularly, as I'll go on to mention later on in a couple of fixtures, who I think will get Manager of the Month. However, it's good for him to get a nomination. Sticky season last year, got 18 points this season, so they're already basically equalled the amount of points they got last year already in about a month and a half of the season. So it's good for them, and I do think they'll win this game 2-0. So on to the next game. This is a good game on paper. Scunthorpe plays Wigan. Wigan got a good win against Walsall on Saturday. Will Grigg scored 2 goals against the Walsall side. They won 2-0. Will Grigg's not been on fire for ages, so getting 2 goals for him will do him good. You know, confidence booster. Scunthorpe ain't playing too bad either at the moment. They're playing with some confidence. This will be a tough game though. This will be a big test to Wigan's promotion push. Though if they can beat Southend, then definitely they'll be up there as a promotion favourite. They played another fellow promotion contender against Peterborough a couple of weeks ago. Lost there, so they did fail that promotion test. However, if they can get points in against other teams in the league, that shouldn't be a problem. This will be a tough game though, and I do fancy Wigan to win this though. I think Scunthorpe, they're a tough team to break down. Scunthorpe, Graham Alexander's side, they're always organised, always a threat, but I do think Wigan will just have a bit more quality in hand to win it 2-0. Let's go into our next game. Walsall host Shrewsbury. Walsall did lose against Wigan on Saturday. It was a bit of a shock result after a couple of good results, showing a little bit of a revival. However, they're not really creating much in front of the goal. It's a bit of a problem there. I'm going to go on to Shrewsbury now, and they're doing fantastic. Winning games, playing fantastically. Paul Hurst, he deserves Manager of the Month for me. To take such an average side in Shrewsbury, he's turned them into a side who are playing with so much confidence, they don't fear anybody in the league. To not lose at home against the likes of Blackpool and Scunthorpe is tremendous for them. And he deserves so much credit. He's brought in some astute signings in the summer, players who you really wouldn't associate with playing at League One level. Omar Beckles coming from Accrington Stanley was a clever little signing as well. Then all John Lewis coming in from Newport County as well. So he's brought in a couple of players from League Two that he's watched before, and it's good to see really. They could do a Huddersfield this year, go under the radar. Side on paper, don't look like they're going to do much. They could go on and get promoted this year. I mean, they're in a good position now to finish in a good league position. They can keep getting results. I do fancy them to beat Walsall in this game. I think they're in so much confidence at the moment. I do think they're going to win this game 2-0. Let's go to the final game in League One. Is Sunday. This is on TV as well. Gillingham host Portsmouth. Really, it should be an away win, really. I mean, Gillingham are struggling. Unlucky not to get a point at Blackburn Saturday. Obviously, Peter Taylor's in interim charge at the moment. They had a few chances up at Blackburn to get a point, hit the post, and then followed up by a rebound as well, which is quite unlucky. Portsmouth struggling for form at the moment. 15th in the table. It's a bit of a shock. Many people thought they'd do well this season and maybe throw down a challenge for a playoff place. However, it's only a transition really from Leagues 2 to 1, so it's a transitional season potentially. However, they've got some good quality in their side, and the results haven't stacked up this season. But I do think this will be a perfect way to bounce back in front of the TV cameras, and I think they'll win 2-0. Let's go into League 2. Early kick-off at 12:30. Barnet hosts Coventry live on TV as well. Look at Barnet, they're struggling this season. They did lose at Wickham on Saturday. Some shambolic defending from Ricardo Santos for Wickham's second or third guy it was. I mean, he's trying to rush the ball out and clear your lines, mate, but I don't know what he was doing there. And that's really been the story of their season. Some shambolic defending. Shaquille Coulthurst has gone off the boil a bit. He's actually up for Player of the Month as well. He scored a hatful of goals in September. However, if Barnet want to play well, want to push up the table, they need him to find his goal scoring touch. Coventry at the moment as well, fantastic. I'm a big fan of them at the moment, playing some wonderful stuff, scoring plenty of goals. And I do think they'll win this game 3-0. I think they have too much in hand for Barnet. And the likes of Jody Jones, Tony Andreu, Mark McNulty, going forward, this can create so much trouble. And I think they'll win this game quite comfortably. Let's go into the next game. Accrington Stanley hosts Luton. Luton Town, big 3-1 win against Newport at home on Saturday. It's a good win for them as well. It's what they needed. Good confidence booster against Accrington Stanley side. They weren't playing too bad themselves. Sitting in the top half of the League 2 table. But I do think Luton will win this game. Although Luton on their travels haven't done too well. They did draw against Morecambe on their last away game, which is a bit of a shock really. So potentially they might not on their away travels not as good as people think. However, I do think they'll win this game 2-1. So into the next game, Cambridge United host Wycombe Wanderers. I'm actually going to this game on Saturday, international break, so I thought, got some family who are Cambridge United fans, so makes sense to go and watch them. Keep a close eye on them as well. They did lose against Swindon Town on Saturday away. Some silly defending really for the first goal, and then they was quite unlucky not to get back into the game when Uche Piazzi hit the crossbar from a header. He's also up for Player of the Month, and in my opinion, he deserves to be Player of the Month. fantastic in September. Scored a hat load of goals. He's looking like a really good player again. Looking to beat his 8 goals in all competitions last season. He's come out and said that previously in the start of the season. He wants to better that target, and I think he will do that. It's the Wycombe side who are playing some good stuff, playing some really good football at the moment. This will be a tough game really, and I think this could be a draw, but I think Cambridge might win this game, if I'm being honest. The home form's been fantastic this season. They're scoring plenty of goals. The Beret and Piers up front are looking really good, and I think they'll win this game 2-1. It's a very tight game though. Both sides looking to try and get into the playoffs. Let's go on to the next game. Carlisle host Exeter. Carlisle have had a bit of a revival in form recently. A couple of positive results against an Exeter side who really blew away Morecambe at home last Saturday. Some fantastic goals in that game as well. I do fancy Exeter to go and follow that up against the Carlisle side. They aren't playing too bad at the moment. They did beat Crawley Saturday, but I do think Exeter will have too much in hand. They're playing some great stuff at the moment, some great confidence and great freedom. I do think they'll win this game 2-1. So into the next game, Cheltenham host Swindon. Cheltenham playing some good stuff as well at the moment. Been quite critical of them this season. Got a fantastic result up at Chesterfield Saturday. Mo White has scored 2 goals. I think that's 8 for him for the season now, and he's looking like a great signing. Against the Swindon side, who are playing well as well. Big win against Cambridge United on Saturday to rest their poor home form. And this will be a very tight game. I'm a big fan of both. I'm a big fan of Swindon really. I like the way they play as well. And I do think they'll win this game. It'll be a very tight game. I think it'll be a 1-0 win for Swindon. So moving on, we've got Colchester United. They host Mansfield. Mansfield playing some really good stuff. Won their local derby against Notts County Saturday 3-1. Danny Rose with a brace of goals as well, and an own goal as well. So he's playing great. He's playing really well at the moment. He's a good player well for League Two. Scores plenty of goals against the Colchester United side, who ain't really playing too great at the moment. I don't think they did get a good result. I mean, up at Yeovil, they needed that as well. 1-0 win there. It's a big confidence booster for them. But I do fancy Mansfield. My tip to win the league, and I do think they'll win this game 3-1. So on to the next game, Crewe Stevenage. Stevenage ain't playing too bad. Good win against Port Vale Saturday. Danny Newton scoring plenty of goals. What a find he is from Tamworth Town as well. Scored that 6 or something for the season now. Against the Crewe side, they were struggling for form. They lost to Coventry Saturday as well. And I do think Stevenage will win this game 2-0. Stevenage score a lot of goals, and I think they're a good attacking side. Let's go into our next game. Lincoln host Chesterfield. Obviously, Jack Messer lost his first game in charge Chesterfield against Cheltenham on Saturday. However, he's not had long to really work with the group, so a full week behind him and trying to learn his methods and trying to buy into what he's trying to implement at the club might try and improve. Against the Lincoln side, he drew at Grimsby on Saturday. Not playing too badly at the moment. Not playing too badly really. Struggling to get a win really, but I do think they could win this game, and I think they'll win this game 1-0. So moving on, Morecambe host Crawley. This will be a tight game really. Both sides really need the 3 points to try and push away from them bottom 2 relegation spots. I mean, both sides just hovering in and around them places, and both sides desperately need a win. Morecambe haven't really done too well this season. They haven't had the best of starts. Really starting to struggle this season. That's probably they were expected to. Against the Crawley side, who haven't been playing too bad. Harry Kill's obviously trying to play some nice football down there. Been a bit unlucky with some of their results recently, but I really do fancy them to beat Morecambe. I like the way Crawley play, and I think Crawley will win 2-1. Let's go moving on. Newport host Yeovil Town. Yeovil won't be in the best bit of form really. They're struggling, probably in the relegation scrap as well. Against Newport side, who are normally associated with a relegation scrap, putting down an early marker for a playoff place. 3-1 loss at Luton's not too disheartening. They didn't play too badly, I don't think. They created some chances as well. Josh Labadie did score a goal as well. And I do think they'll win this game 2-1. Moving on, Notts County host Forest Green Rovers. Notts County lost for the first time since the start of the season on Saturday against Mansfield. And Kevin Nolan did come out and say that his side didn't really turn up. He was a bit disappointed. Really local derby. You'd have felt that's one of the games they'd definitely be up for. Against the Forest Green Rovers side who are struggling for any sort of form really. Struggling for basically a win, struggling for a goal and everything. Hit the crossbar Saturday as well. And they are finding things really hard, and I just don't see how they can beat Notts County. I think they'll bounce back to winning ways quite easily, and just don't see how Forest Green can go up there and beat them. So moving on, our final game of this review is Port Vale. They host Grimsby. Obviously, Port Vale got Neil Aspin in from Gateshead as the new manager. That'll be interesting. See how he comes in. He's obviously played over 300 times from back in the 1980s to 90s as well. And obviously Jack Grudge, he's coming in as his director of football, who Aspin played under as well during his time at Port Vale. Against the Grimsby side, they haven't been playing some great football at the moment. However, they've got some good quality in their squad, so if they can really arrest a poor bit of form at the moment, and I do fancy maybe them to beat Port Vale really. I think Port Vale it's only early days for Neil Aspin. Be interested to see how he plays though, but I do think Grimsby will win 2-1. So there you go guys, that's my Football Leagues 1 and 2 review there. On preview as well. So if you do like that, hit the like button, subscribe as well. We'll probably bring some more FIFA content out in the next coming days. And yeah, see you.